TikTok tells people that he's live.
And if you don't know, we're live.
He's live.
Yeah, just to make
we
sure
live?
you know,
Are
we
we
are
live?
live. Let's get ready. Let's do this while there's a gap in the traffic of hellos. Inspiration Nation, hello. Lee Kemp here for another week on the podcast. Both Jose Noya, Ryan Boniface are with me. It is a full complement of Inspirationers, if that's our best name. Ryan, you are the man with the subject this week. So what have you got for us?
I'm sticking on the quote train. I was absent last week, so I assume we're still doing this.
We are.
That's helpful.
Be a bit crap if it wasn't it?
Yeah, my whole plan's out the window. I have got a quote. I think it fits in with the time of year. And yeah, it's from Abraham Lincoln. Joe might just have been old enough to be alive at the same time. He was. He was going to bite. He was actually going to bite then, and he didn't. And the quote is, "In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years." Obviously, I say obviously, those of you that are listening to this on playback won't know, but today is Wednesday, the 1st of November, which means is one day after Halloween, which
Correct.
now means for us in the UK, there are no holidays between now and the C word, positive C word as well.
I'm still torn on which word that could be.
I was wondering. Oh yes, I was wondering about that. Thinking, oh yes, okay, that one. Yeah.
And the reason I'm tying them together is because I think for most people, especially those that celebrate Christmas, it's a time where people actually draw together or come together and make the most of the time that they have. And we could take this episode in multiple different ways. We can talk about the last 10 months. We can talk about that it's too early to talk about Christmas. We can talk about that it's not too early. We can talk about whatever you like. So I've opened this one up.
Yeah.
Thoughts from you, please.
I've got a bit of a thought on this already. Just a couple of things. Lee, do you mind if I go first?
Like I could even stop you, Jose. Go for it.
Good. You could. Hello, TikTokers. Welcome. Thank you, Ryan, for posing this question. I like this because you said that it's the life in your years, right? So it said before, it's not.
Yeah.
It's really just sort of saying, it's not about how long you live. It's the life that you live with the years that you have. Is that what you're sort of saying?
Yeah, it's about what you do with your time, not how much of it that you have.
Yeah. So I reference this quite a bit actually. Even when I'm training in the company that I train, I always say, it's not about how long you've been at a company or how long you've been where you are. It's what you've done when you're there. What's the value add? What is it? That's one of the things that I took away from this. So some people say, oh, I've been here from not a million years. I've been here for 20 years. But what's the value add you've done that in those 20 years? What have you added? So I like that. And the other thing I wanted to add was that I've just discovered that Sylvester Stallone, one of my inspirational actors, people, is actually doing a Netflix documentary, and I saw the trailer for it, and I'm well excited about it. But he talked about, and I think talking a bit about what you were saying, that it's about the life in your years. In the clip, he was saying that he had all this stardom, with Rambo, Rocky, and all that. But he did a load of mistakes. I don't know what these mistakes are, but we'll find out in the documentary. But he said that could all disappear. But what really matters is the people in your life, your family, and things like that. So that's living I think that for me is what this is about. It's about those important things and living your years intentionally about the things that matter, about the things that are really important. And whether you're at work, if you're at work, what value do you add? If you're at home, how can you be the best version of whatever, your dad, best version of dad, best friend you can be, all those things. I think that's a really important thing. Because I think what they're trying to say, just don't waste your life and just sit there and just go with, just go in there. I suppose just not adding value. This is about how can we? For me, this is how I've interpreted it. How can I be the best version of that person that I wanna be? Whether the best dad I can be, best friend. I'm not always going to win at that, but those sorts of things. That's what I'm thinking. This is doing. It's do what you do with your life. Whether it's doing the things that you want to do. and making them happen, and not just going, oh, I wish I could do that, but actually starting to put things in place to make things happen. That's what I'm really getting from this, and I'm just saying that to TikTokers, if you want to do this, don't forget to like as well, please, because please get this live out there, so there's at least 5 people in here. Can you please like the lives? Let's get this out there. Come on, people, let's like. Yeah, that's my take on that. What do we think? That's my take.
I'd like to, no, I agree with all that. I'd like to say that, Ryan, and Jose, I say to both of you, I've always been a firm believer in that it's not about length, it's what you do with it. That's kind of a firm mantra of mine.
Yep.
Jose, head in hands. Can we get some likes on TikTok for that, please? So I'll give a few likes for that.
There's no likes on TikTok. Come on, people, like it up. Come on. Let's do some likes. Come on, who's going to be the first one to like the live? Come on, carry on, Lisa.
And secondly, just random trivia. Did you know that Abraham Lincoln was, before he was President of the United States, was a professional wrestler? Just to link that into my favourite pastime. It's a true story. Google it.
Around.
Mike, just get it in your Google machine, and you will see that he was a wrestler. But I don't get me wrong, I'm fairly convinced that I will live to be at least 120 years old. So shortness of life is not on my plans. But I agree as well with the sentiment. It is about what you do at the time, not because I could have 120 years and I can sit on the sofa in front of the TV and do absolutely nothing with them and probably remember very little of it, or I could have half that time and go out and have a million experiences for myself that are fantastic and make a positive impact on other people's lives and positively impact them and utilise that time. There's a balance in there. You've got to have time for yourself, time for others, etc., etc. Netflix is important. I won't take that out of the equation. But I was reading something the other day that this made me think of that, where it said that there's a concept that as you get older, time gets quicker. I know I definitely feel that right now. Ryan might be starting to feel that. Jose will feel that significantly more than I do because he is significantly older than I am. But I said there's a scientific reason for this, and they said that the way your brain works and the way your memory works is that where you get into a routine on things, it starts to cluster them all together. So there's nothing distinctive about it. So things that happen as a part, if you establish a routine and you do things in your routine, a lot of that just get dumped in your memory bin and doesn't really get remembered. So your perception of time is a lot quicker because as you look backwards, you're looking back further. And he said what you've got as well is there's a lot less defining moments. So as you're growing up, you start school. You've got numerous, each year you go up in school, you go to a different school, you go to a different school, to go to college, you go to university, you hit 16, you hit 18, you hit 21, you start being able to drive, you're able to drink. There's all these milestones that you plan towards and are distinctive and unique and you remember it. And you kind of hit, here in the UK, you hit 18, it just plateaus and there's not so many, your next big one's 21, then 30, then 40, then 50 in terms of those life milestones, and you get a lot more into routine of life. And actually, it's the things that break that routine, whether good or whether bad. They're the things that you tend to remember, and I think there's something in there about breaking that routine sometimes. The whole don't be afraid to say yes. So, is there a different experience you can try? Can you go and do this? Can you try something different? Can you do something for someone that just puts those breaks in your routine that add to your memory bank, add to that quality of life, give you better fulfillment in what you do, have a more positive impact on the world around you? And that's kind of how I'd see how you put that statement into practice.
Yeah, I really like this. Yeah, Ryan, sorry, you're going to
say No, I agree. After you, Joe, go on.
No, because and do you know, I'm really trying to live this a little bit more because I went for my haircut. Oh, and Lee doesn't like haircuts.
I'm good with them now. I'm totally over that. In fact,
you able to sit there?
I go there. Right, as you see, look at this little sharp little line. Well, I'm carrying on one line in there. Go in, get into it, get him to do my beard, have a hot towel, whole thing. And I'm perfectly comfortable sitting there quietly for most. So much so, the barber started making conversation with me about his car last time that I was there. That's how comfortable I was sitting in the silence. So that was, but that is off the list now. Off the list.
That's so good. God, I remember that when Lee didn't want to go to the barbers because, yeah.
And you know what did it for me, Joe, is me reminding myself just sit in the uncomfortable space, and now I don't even have to tell myself that because actually I'm comfortable in the uncomfortable.
That's so good. Oh my god, I love that so much. Yeah, I remember you really not doing it. And I remember in lockdown as well, when we had lockdown, your hair
Loved
did
it.
get
Loved
quite
it.
interesting. It got interesting, didn't it? It did. Like those like professional football players with the headband. But anyway, that's to cut long story short. I went to the barbers just to do this, and talking about routine breaking. I try and live in the moment, and usually I go in there and you know, it's actually the barbers that we interviewed the barber. You know, the barber we talked about, Ian the
Yes.
barber, on a YouTube. On YouTube, back in the archives, I can't remember what episode it was. However, that's the barber I went to. And they've got a change happening in the barbers. Now, I usually do give a tip. It's usually a modest tip. It's not crazy. So, usually, I sort of give a little bit of a tip.
Is it 50 pence?
No, it's a bit more than that. Let's just say it's a couple of pounds usually, a couple of pounds. So it's above 10%. Anyway, a person was leaving, and in the moment I was thinking, what can I do to help, you know, to sort of celebrate this person leaving? And this is not like a grand gesture. It's just like, I don't know what to do. I have nothing on me. I couldn't really leave the shop. So all I did was, you know, it said, okay, it's time to pay. All I did say, like, just keep all the change. Just keep the change. So I didn't get the change. So literally it turned into about I think a £6 or £7 tip. And do you know what? The reaction on that was just like, oh, thank you so much. It was lovely. And so, yeah, so it's a really nice...
Get one of those guns.
It was a really nice thing. It was a really nice thing. But, yeah, I didn't know what else to do. But before I'd done all this self-development, I probably just would have done... I wouldn't have been conscious about that moment.
Yeah.
And I've just probably done the same old couple of quid, maybe. But even before then, I don't know if I would give a couple of quid. I probably would have just given them the money and just taken the change. But I'm really more conscious about how I can add a little bit more. Like you're saying, a bit, you know, that was, oh, thanks so much. You know, you said, oh, you don't, they said, I remember the conversation, you don't have to do that. I said, I want to do it. I said, I want it to be a gift for you as you move on to your next bit. And they were just so grateful, and it was lovely. And then another thing was at the side of the shop, there was a poppy jar thing. And usually I go past the poppies things, and I've do it in other ways, right? But guess what? I got a poppy as well on the back end, and went out. So I did all these things in the spur of the moment, being in the moment, and I felt and what I found out from that, doing that, because Ian had it in the shop, he said, "Oh, my dad designs all the artwork," and I did not know that until I did that action. I didn't know that did the artwork for, you know, for Armistice Day, all that stuff, Remembrance Day. I didn't recognise that they did that. So, but when I left that shop, I felt so uplifted about, oh, that's a really good moment.
I bet
Instead
you
of
did,
going for that routine, like you said, I changed that whole thing, and that visit to the barbers, which would be quite routine, suddenly turned and actually Ian makes it a great experience, but like it was more than that. It's more than the usual, and I felt really great, and everyone felt really great. It was a happy day, and it just sets up. Yeah, so I thought that was quite that sort of speaks to me. I just thought I'd share that little story about, it's just the little things, isn't it? I think it's the little things, those little sprinkles of dust every day you could do. What can you do differently that adds that value, that just makes your life, you remember, and I remember that now. I remember that forever. It's really interesting. But had I not done that, like you said, Lee, is it that thing around where you sit in the barber shop, you just go, and if you ask me, what do you do the weekend? I'll probably forget that whole barber story if I had done that. So I see what you mean about it accelerates as you get older, because you're right. You don't have those milestones anymore. And things do accelerate crazy quick. So, yeah, I just thought I'd add that. But yeah, that's what that sparked off for me. So thanks, Lee, and thanks, Ryan, for this subject, because I think this is a really good one. Anyway, anything from you two on this? Sorry,
no, I'm glad you're doing that, because I know it's kind of diverging a bit, but I'm aware of that more in my interactions now. And I have a few examples that are personal to other people, so not going to necessarily say on them, but where they've been talking about something and they needed a bit of support, and I kind of I was very conscious to take an extra step to reaffirm to them, you know, some positivity around what they were doing or what they were thinking about, or where I thought they might have had some doubt, which was all genuine, because my thought was, you should not be doubting yourself about this. And again, essentially, there's something that wouldn't have been there before, where I was very aware that was an opportunity to say something, and actually they came back a few days later and actually like sent me a thank you for that, which had gone by in that moment. But obviously it's that, like you said, it's that that trick in your head to think about the impact of someone else, and just take that moment to add a bit more, break the usual routine of conversations and how are you doing, and oh yeah, I'm fine, and all that stuff we talk about in changing your speech patterns. So yeah, that's good. That resonates with me, because there's a few moments I've had where I've been conscious of that and I've seen the impact, and actually because of that I then reached out to someone I wouldn't have reached out before about something else as well, to give a bit of reassurance, and hopefully it's a bit of a snowball that's building, breaks in that routine, positive impact.
Yeah, that's it, making the world a better place one action at a time. I love that. And it's not fake either, it's that genuine thing, isn't it, where we're trying to...
It's things I think that I would have thought in my head that I wouldn't have had the confidence to say, that I'm now like, no, do that, make that difference.
I bloody love that. I love that. I love the fact that we're out here, you know, making these differences and making things happen like this. It's incredible, isn't it?
And that's our inspiration to other people.
Yeah, again, I train some people at work, and then the other day I was getting some people doing some call listening. You know, the new people that I'm helping, they call listen, and the person that I trained for were actually person that were helping the others that I'd already helped. So I'd helped them, they've qualified, now they're helping other people. And it was only a short space of time, and it was lovely to hear, oh yeah, you know, it's crazy, isn't it, to think that was happening. So all these bits of kindness, all these services that we do, they do have massive impact. We just don't realise it sometimes.
That's it.
And definitely thinking at my place at the minute with all the stuff that's happening, there's a lot of traction that's happening, a lot of things that I'm doing at the moment. And I think you're right, it's all the little things that you do, all the connections, all the quality connections, you know, even a little Teams message, and just putting a little bit more on it that you would do is really makes a big difference. But yeah, I love that. I love all that. Yeah, I think it's brilliant. In fact, one of the stoicism things is I was thinking about the other day, do everything, but do it with quality. Do it with quality. You know, slow down, but just give it that extra little bit more of attention that you would have done before, just so when you hand it off, it's just that little bit better than what you would have done before. I love that. Just that. Oh, I love that 1% thing.
I look at you getting all. I can see.
Oh, I get excited about it. But I don't always do it. The thing is, I don't always do this. I don't always do it. I sometimes forget, and I think it's when we talk about this all the time, it embeds in the unconscious, and I think it comes out at the right times. And yeah, I just love these conversations, because I really think it solidifies what we need to do, and what we go out there and do these things, and this is why we can have these lovely little stories that we can say around what I'm doing. So going back to Ryan, going back to your point about Lincoln, you know, the life in your years. That's the bit the life in your years is so critically important. So thank you, Ryan, for that. Yeah, but if there's anything, we've got some people in the chat as well, just sort of saying, but yeah, Ryan, anything from you? I'll just see if there's any questions. Any questions, guys, from TikTok?
Have a look for them. And then Ryan, how's that served for this question you've been sitting on for weeks from Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter?
I think you've kind of taken it a lot further than what I ever anticipated we would be able to. Talking about making the most of your time, and there I was talking about Christmas and bringing people together.
Oh yeah, we never talked about Christmas. Should we loop back to that?
No, but the fact that you've taken you put your own spin on it, and you've kind of driven it in your own way, kind of means that, you know, it's meant something slightly different to you guys, and that's both wholly acceptable and you know, commendable as well, because you've
you're like, you bar stewards didn't take my lead, went off in your own direction. What am I even
Christmas
here for?
You Grinches. No, but it's good to know that there are so many ways that you can gain that benefit. Joe obviously talks about a selfless act as well, and that's obviously massive. A lot of people think that making the most of your own time is spent doing stuff for yourself, but it doesn't have to be. There's so many ways that you can do that, and I think that's you know, it's really good that we as a trio have the you know, we've always talked about this, but we always have the different dynamics and different perspectives just because of who we are, and generally I would say our ages as well. You know, I'm not sure if anyone my age would think that the best thing they could do to make the most out of their own time is to dedicate that to other people, but Joe shows us again that, you know, he's old, basically.
Good. That is my takeaway for this week.
Yeah.
Joe is old.
Yes, that is what I am taking away. So let's do some. Jose, what is your takeaway?
You know, my takeaway, I know that the story I told, but for me, I'm going to take away what Ryan was taking at the beginning. I mean,
Christmas.
Spending quality time with people, not not just at Christmas, but just quality time when you're with people. But I definitely think at Christmas, can you spend some quality time with people and really take that time? In fact, I don't know if we've got much time we've got left, but my daughter came back from where they live, stayed with us, and we had a bit of a Halloween night. It's Halloween last night, right? It was Halloween.
Correct.
And we watched a few horror films, and there's this film called Talk to Me, and then we watched Halloween, the original with Jamie Lee Curtis, which I absolutely love. It's brilliant. Din, 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 din. Anyway, brilliant music soundtrack. I don't know if we get copyright for that. Hope not. Anyway.
No, not for that rendition. We won't. Nothing's picking that up.
Quality. The quality time thing though is really important, because you could have, my daughter could have just come home and we could have sat down and just, tonight, but we just had a bit of a laugh, and then I played some Halloween jokes on them, and they went, Dad, you're such a bleep, and I just scared the life out of them. Anyway, we had some good fun, and I think it's those moments where you connect, and I think at Christmas and all that, I think we should just do that, connect on a really nice level, and take a bit of time for people, let people talk, and that's for me is the thing, is the Christmas and get together, being together and really appreciating people's time and company, and really trying to connect and have a bit of a laugh. That's my takeaway.
I like it. Ryan, what's your own takeaway on your own subject?
That there's numerous ways that you can make your experience of time better. It doesn't just have to be for you.
And as we said, mine is Joe is old. So if you like what we're doing, if you want to support Inspiration Nation, head over to inspirationnation.org.uk. Full archive, 240 odd plus episodes now to dive into. Lots of people do go in and do that, so appreciate people that are going back and listening. Some do it in order, some goes backwards. Some people just pick out random episodes here and there. I always like to see that. And you can get your Inspiration Nation merchandise over there too. So mugs, hoodies, t-shirt, face masks, etc., all at inspirationnation.org.uk. And follow us on X. Oh, Joe's, thank God for that. For those on YouTube, he just lifted up his top to show his Inspiration Nation t-shirt, and I'm so glad that t-shirt was on underneath there. There's quite a lot of nipple shots going on TikTok right now, I can see. That's quite disgusting. However, if you want to get involved in that, just search Jose Noya, Inspiration Nation on your Google machine. Follow it on TikTok, follow on YouTube. You will find out when we go live each and every week. And as I was saying, yes, Twitter, X. Follow us there at ListenToIN, ListenToIN. Most importantly, tell friends, tell family, get people to listen, subscribe, leave us a 5-star review, all that great stuff.
We've just got a warning on TikTok for that.
Did we? What did it say?
It said, you got one warning. That's what it said. No, It didn't really. I'm just joking. Hello. Anyway, sorry.
You actually got me there. You actually reeled me in there.
Oh, really? Did
you
believe that? Ryan didn't fall for it at all. He just said, no, I'm having that.
He's not as gullible as me. On that note, we will be back next week. I'll count us down. 3, 2, 1. Inspiration Nation. Catch you guys later.
Later. Thanks, TikTokers. See you later.